So anyway, I don't know. There's a little bit of hope there. However, I discount everything that I just said because he's still supporting the genocide. Okay, so
which is what I wanted to get to. Also, by the way, you and I have a very different take on Trump, but that's perfectly okay. I have several guests that have a much, I say, hopeful take on Trump than I do.
Yeah.
Fair enough. That is perfectly fine. I love the optimism on this. We'll see, and because I could be entirely wrong. He may be trying to pull away. This estimate or the security assessment may become a norm in regards to he's trying to push. Oh God, he's going to get all sorts of pushback. But he may try to, this may be Hegseth, Vance,
oh yeah, you don't know,
and Trump coming together saying this is what we want to do going forward. But we'll see. The Gaza thing is the last thing I wanted to hit you with. So Donald Trump has put out a quote unquote proposal, and in that proposal, Drop Site News was able to get their hands on it. Mm-hmm. It says all hostages alive or deceased will be released within 48 hours of signing. Numbers consistent with previous releases. Palestinian prisoners sentenced to life and detainees from Gaza will be released within 48 hours. A ceasefire will go into effect upon implementation for a period of 60 days or until negotiations are concluded. President Trump will, quote, guarantee that the parties negotiate in good faith until an agreement is reached, unquote. If I'm being honest with you, we can stop right there and turn this up. This is a moot point, but I'll keep going. The issue of the negotiations or the negotiated include definition of Hamas, the definition of disarmament, the formation of a new government, the withdrawal of Israeli forces upon formation of the government, or upon successful conclusion of negotiations and amnesty for Hamas members, open flow of aid into Gaza upon implementation of the agreement. Drop Site has a copy of this that they have in Arabic. Give me a take. I think you're more hopeful about Trump than I am. I think he's a habitual liar. Yeah. And so the idea that the United States is going to be the guarantee of anything associated with Israel seems to be absurd to me.
I agree.
But maybe you have a different take on this.
No, not on Israel. Israel's first off, if we wanted to stop weapons delivery to Israel in advance of this, because Israel has its own weapons. Mainly they do come from us, but they have their own. They could continue to fight for a short period of time without our weapons. If he wanted to predicate all of this on we're stopping the export and sale and military assistance and intelligence assistance, we're stopping all that to Israel now in advance to set the stage for some sort of agreement, then I would say, well, yeah, because Israel does care about those weapons that we provide them. That saves them a lot of money, and it allows them to do what they're doing, what they've been doing for almost 2 years. Everywhere, not just in Gaza, but the West Bank and Lebanon, Syria, everywhere that they're fighting. If he did not say that, then he's not guaranteeing Israel is going to do anything. Second off, not only does Trump lie and say, I'm going to do this and that, we've seen this repeatedly, so does Netanyahu, except Netanyahu does it even more predictably than Trump does. So if Netanyahu said, oh yeah, that sounds good, we'll do that. No, he's not going to do that. Nobody in the region, nobody in the planet trusts the Netanyahu government, the regime that he is beholden to in the Knesset. Nobody trusts them any farther than you can throw them, push them, put a tiny bit of pressure on. You do not trust them. They have an agenda, which they have made very clear, that they're taking Gaza. They're destroying Gaza, which they have actually mostly done. And they're going to exit or exterminate the Gazans who remain. They are also doing the same thing in the West Bank. They have said it. They have done it. It's been reported globally. Nothing has changed. So Trump is smoking something in the sense that he thinks he can ensure something. He can't. Not unless he's going to stop weapons and then send an expeditionary force to make sure that the IDF is not shooting Gazans and blowing up buildings after they said they wouldn't. Now, the other thing that's shocking to me is amnesty. I haven't seen this report, but you said amnesty for Hamas, for certain Hamas members.
This was, let me see, I'll show. Drop Site has been doing a really good job covering pretty much any and everything that's been taking place in Gaza. And they have connections with some of the Hamas members, like leadership, where they've been having a conversation with. And apparently one of the items where is it? The issue that we negotiated, an amnesty for Hamas membership. Yeah.
Yep. And a formulation of a government that Gazans choose, perhaps with help of outside communities. None of that is not going to fly with Netanyahu. It's not going to fly with Netanyahu's people
it is not.
at all. No, and it's not even going to fly with 80% of the Israelis who support Netanyahu in this genocide. Now, they don't like that people are being killed. Some of those Israelis like, well, I'm tired of war. I want my soldiers, I want my hostages back. They're prisoners of war back, But they do not agree. They are, the success of the propaganda in Israel, the Zionist propaganda, that all Arabs hate you and all Hamas wants to do is destroy everything that you have and all of your people and your children, pretty much like what Israel is doing in Gaza. But they believe that. So there is no way on God's earth that the current Israeli regime would accept amnesty for Hamas, which has been made out to be the devil. I mean, the devil incarnate, particularly since October 7th. I mean, Hamas being evil and a terrible, massive evil threat that must be eliminated. How do you go from that for 2 years or for 25 years? How do you go from that to, we'll give them amnesty? Yeah. That's a big jump. I don't see that. So it looks like I don't know. Well, who's negotiating it? Is this another Witkoff thing?
I know Witkoff had been negotiating, and even some of these cases walked out of the meeting. I mean, it's been clear at this point. Every deal that Witkoff has come up with, Netanyahu has killed the deal. Hamas is in a position where they are desperate, and they've been willing to accept pretty much anything.
That's right.
But in this case, Netanyahu has always found a way to effectively kill the deal. Donald Trump has to know that. Yeah. I guess I don't have this rosy view of him in this. I think he's an insincere actor. He knows exactly what he's doing.
In Gaza, that is, I'm with you 100% in Gaza. So that's why my theories about him in other areas, about like who he is as a person and whatnot, how he thinks, it is all discounted. It is probably overly hopeful, because when I look at Gaza, nobody could be that ignorant. Nobody could be as ignorant as Trump on Gaza. Right. I mean, he has the access of every bit of intelligence that the planet has if he wants it. How could he be so ignorant? So I think he's totally corrupted and bought off. But I will say this, and this is another point of light, it has nothing to do with the U.S. But, the UAE told Israel that if they continue to try to take over the West Bank and consolidate the West Bank, they said, they told Israel and Washington, they said, this Abraham Accords thing is off and we're not doing it. And as the UAE will go, the rest of the Arab community that's part of the Abraham Accords will follow. And that caused the Knesset, that caused Netanyahu to stop and think, because all of the world hates Israel, right? We're not going to ever, most people who are aware of this and work for companies, we're never buying another Israeli product as long as we live. We're not boycotting them. We're just not going to buy their stuff, right? I mean, you can say, you're part of a movement. No, we're not part of a movement. We're not buying their stuff, right? And we're not going to support our congressmen taking AIPAC money, and we're not going to support wars for Israel. That's 30 years of indoctrination here that we're turning the corner on. So Israel needs friends, right? And the best friends you need are the ones close to you. That's their community, the Arab world. So the Arab world has a lot more, the Arab governments, even though they're all compromised in different ways by their own problems, by the U.S. money, all different things. But when the UAE said stop on the West Bank, Netanyahu sat up and listened to that. When the United States tells Netanyahu to stop doing something, he smiles and pats him on the head and does exactly what he damn well pleases. So I thought that was something good. And maybe the Arab countries can recognize they do have power to deal with West Jerusalem. They have power to deal with Tel Aviv. They can do it. So I don't know, but I just pray every day that enough Gazans and Palestinians survive and can regain their health that has been taken from them, that they are still a power and a force to be reckoned with, because Gazan land is their land. In fact, Palestine is their country. So I'm sorry. I root for them. And guess what? When I say that, that's the majority global opinion.
Yes.
That counts for something. It counts for something.
It is deeply hurtful that our government is doing this.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
shameful. And yeah, I'll just say it's shameful. Karen, you're fantastic. Thank you for this. You really are. Karen Kwiatkowski.
Yes. That's good.
Yes. Okay, good.
Yes, yes.
She is retired U.S. Air Force officer whose assignments included duties as a Pentagon desk officer in various roles for the National Security Agency. She's author of several books, including African Crisis Response Initiative, Past, Present, Future, and Expeditionary Air Operations in Africa, Challenges and Solutions. Thank you for this. You have a good day, okay? Be safe.
Okay, you too. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. Karen is fantastic. And she's right. On that one, she's perfectly right, Jonathan. Back, you're right, the Jonathan. All right. What time is it? Oh, one more thing before we close. Got to be honest, my powers are kind of dragging right now, but it's okay. Let's finish this out. Oh, for fuck's sake. Chairman of the Hamas Political Bureau, Khaled Mashal, has reportedly been killed. A senior Hamas official told Al Jazeera that the movement's negotiating team was attacked during a meeting in Doha, Qatar, while discussing the ceasefire idea put forward by Trump. So apparently it was set up. This wouldn't be the first time the Trump administration lured someone into talks only to be murdered. Soleimani, if you remember, was lured into talks only to be murdered. This seems to be Donald Trump's MO at this. Did you hear Qatar was bombed? So that was the story that I hit. Where is it? The one that just came out. Right here. TD Geopolitics hits the story. Chairman for Hamas Political Bureau, I think this is Khaled Mashal, has reportedly been killed. Senior Hamas official told Al Jazeera the movement's negotiating. What? Told Al Jazeera the movement's negotiating team was attacked during a meeting in Doha, Qatar, while discussing the ceasefire ideas put forward by Trump. So when they say attacked, I don't know what attack means. I don't know if that means bombed or what. Let's check Press TV. Maybe they would have it. And yes, right here. Israel launches airstrikes on Doha to assassinate Hamas leaders. So Qatar has just been attacked by Israel. Qatar has just been attacked by Israel. What is Qatar going to do about this? What are the other Gulf states going to do about this? Now, we've made the point before that Greater Israel runs through many of these Quisling governments. And as they stand by and do everything in their power to assist Israel as it bombed Iran, as it murdered Palestinians, now what? Israeli warplanes have launched airstrikes on the headquarters of Hamas resistance movement in Qatar, capital Doha, and what Israel media described as, quote, an assassination operation, unquote. The airstrike came as Hamas leaders were reportedly convened to discuss the latest U.S. proposal for a ceasefire in Gaza. Never trust the United States. As a rule, I don't know why anybody trusts the U.S. for anything. This is old hat for the U.S., right? Hey, we're going to have negotiations with Iran, and you attack Iran. Hey, we're going to have negotiations, and Soleimani is going to go to Iraq, and you murder Soleimani and the people that are associated with them. And of course, you have the bombings here. This is old hat. At some point, people are going to realize you can't trust the United States. The Israeli military issued a statement confirming that it had conducted what it called a, quote, precise strike targeting Hamas senior leadership. This was a political bureau, by the way. A senior Israeli official told Channel 13 that Hamas leader, Khaled, well, the name is different, chairman of the political bureau in West Bank, were in the meeting when it was struck. So yeah, Israel has bombed another neighboring country. Israel has bombed another neighboring country. And let's see if Donald Trump has anything to say about this. I would wager to you, he will not. He will not. All right. Call it a day. Just now send Kevin Wayne. I'll check it out, Kevin. Thank you for that. International Gangster Coalition. Well, these people are they're sociopaths with the U.S. backing as sociopaths. This is not a rogue state. I hope you understand. This is a state that is effectively under control and auspices of the United States and can do nothing without the U.S. permission to do so. Why don't they negotiate with the UN? That's a good question. That's a good question. That is a very good question. Probably because the UN is no longer a body to get anything accomplished. It's a talking shop. And it's not a talking shop that gets anything accomplished. When the UN Security Council passed the resolution calling for a ceasefire, what did the US say? The US came out and said, this is a non-binding resolution. This is a non-binding resolution, meaning we don't need to care about this. The UN Security Council doesn't do non-binding resolutions. But at that point, you have a broken international system. I keep saying, and people hate it when I say it, but it's true. There is no such thing as international law. You're in the law of the jungle. Your ability is not, you will not be protected. There is no Leviathan. There is no God above that's going to come to your aid. Your ability to protect yourself is going to be entirely within your own hands. All of the things that many of these countries did in order to try to bring down hostilities only provoke hostilities. You were warned. Behave accordingly. Like, share, subscribe. Be kind to the degree that you can be kind. Have a good one all. Be safe.